Committee be established to probe the role played by various state agencies in the alleged cover-up on the farm burglary. An independent panel has already been appointed to consider evidence against President Cyril Ramaphosa that could lead to an impeachment inquiry. Lindsay Dendlinger takes a look at why the DA thinks that this is not enough.
From the onset, the DA has been pushing for a special committee to investigate what happened at the president's Limpopo farm. Speaker Nosiviwe Mapisa-Nqakula rejected the request. Instead, she acceded to the African Transformation Movement's motion to initiate the start of impeachment proceedings. But the Section 89 independent panel can only consider information already in the public domain and has no investigative powers. Today's debate will be led by DA leader John Steenhuisen and his chief whip, Siziwe Gwahube.
We'll be making that argument and lobbying other political parties to support us and lobbying the ANC to actually see that this is good for the institution and it's good for Parliament.
Because the motion will only be debated by a mini plenary, a full sitting of the House will still have to support its adoption for it to be successful. Lindsay Dendlinger, Eyewitness News.
ANC National Chairperson Gwede Mantashe says he will return to COSATU to deliver a message of support at its 14th Congress if delegates allow him to. He's told Eyewitness News that he has no expectations of being allowed to take to the podium and deliver his speech. Mantashe was booed and jeered off stage, with workers refusing to hear him out. Tidi Madia spoke to Mantashe and filed this report.
This is how Gwede Mantashe was received yesterday. Seemingly unfazed by this event, Mantashe told Eyewitness News the tensions have been brewing for some time. He says the alliance is going through a difficult period.
When alliance partners begin to point fingers at each other and take no responsibility, that is what we're going to.
The former unionist will return to the conference and be ready to deliver his message to COSATU.
Also expecting not to be allowed to and actually complete the picture that I said.
Today is day 2 of the conference. It will draw to a close on Thursday. Tidi Madia, Eyewitness News, Johannesburg.
Health Minister Joe Phaahla is expected to give an update on the impact of load shedding on the healthcare sector later this week. Department officials say the minister has now kick-started a process to exempt health facilities from Eskom's rolling power cuts. The country is currently on stage 3 load shedding, while stage 4 power cuts will be implemented during peak hours after 4 p.m. Kevin Brandt reports.
National and provincial health bosses are finalizing an assessment focusing on how load shedding impacts operations at healthcare facilities across the country. Health Department spokesperson Foster Mwale says Minister Joe Phaahla has been concerned over the rolling power cuts for some time and hoped that the situation will improve.
However, it has gotten worse to higher levels such as level 5 and level 6, which impact on the provision of healthcare services across the country. Minister Phaahla has ordered the Director General of the National Department of Health, working closely with the provincial heads of health departments to finalize the assessment of the impact already in the past week.
Mwale says the minister has been considering alternative options to bolster power supply at health facilities in addition to generators. Kevin Brandt, Eyewitness News.
And moving abroad now, the Kremlin has admitted that mistakes were made in its drive to mobilize Russian army reservists to fight in Ukraine amid growing public opposition. Multiple reports say people with no military experience, some too old and others disabled, are being called up. Last week's call by President Vladimir Putin to up Russia's ante in its invasion of Ukraine has since triggered widespread protest. Since the mobilization announcement, scores of people have been detained in protests across Russia. Gold's trading at $1,631.65 an ounce. The rand is at 18.01 to the...
Who knows? Come back to the bus, back to Joburg. I've made money for the month. I rent. I keep on staying here, do my club gigs. So if I have like 3 or 4 corporate gigs in Durban, because Durban I was still big, but I was reaching my ceiling. I was like, it's a matter of time. I can't be doing this forever and ever. Someone's coming. And besides, I just need to move. 2012, I made my money in Durban and I stayed in Joburg. People didn't know. And then around August, I had a show in Durban at the Playhouse with Tandiswa, And
Kingta?
yeah, yeah.
Wow.
And she had asked me to host her launch of Ibelete album.
Such a big fan.
Oh no, you don't understand. I'm an insane fan. I remember when the first time when she was coming out with the first album.
Yeah.
We went to the concert. My sisters didn't see where I was. There's Candice was going, there's Mampele. That's my home name. Like, there's Mampele, my favorite fan. I'm the fan. Like, she knows that. Oh no, I was a serious fan. I was there, wear the Candice t-shirt. Oh my God, I still do.
Same here.
So after that show, I was so excited. It was such a nice playhouse gig for Women's Month. It had DJs in Claire Tandy. So I felt like, oh my God, I'm performing with these people. And I partied and I had a great time that weekend. And same guy that got me the first gig, he called me to call me. He said, hey, can you go to the auditions? I said, okay, Xas, all right. So yeah.
Did you know when the audition of act?
Yeah, but I was like, because it's Umchitawan, you know. I wasn't really, I won't lie, I wasn't thinking about that thing. I was thinking about him. This guy has put me on such great things, and from time to time he gives me corporate gigs. I mean, if he says I'm going to the audition tomorrow, let me go. But I wasn't really, my mind was like, let me do this because it was not really, because you know TV things, you never trust them. So I had a hangover for days. I told her about this when I was nominated. I was like, hey guys, there's what's in that. Yeah, and guess this, that we got there was about Begim Kwan and everyone else. And
my audition.
Yeah, my audition the next day. Because the show on a Saturday, on a Sunday, and I'm still here on a Monday. But to see people that love and know me on a physical space, which is why I also love comedy. London. Comedy is the truth, bro. There's one thing I will constantly, and why I will forever be on this comedy hill, it's because it's the truth. There's no fake people in comedy. Name one. That's why it's the only genre that doesn't have slay queens and slay kings. No, you can't sell beauty there. We are here for humor. No, you can have all a million following. That's why even the TikTok comedians, they still haven't done stand-up. It's a different story.
Stand-up is a different ballgame.
They will tell you they have 15 million followings, but they can't have 5 minutes on stage. And most of them, unfortunately, have been failing. And it's rightfully so, because naturally, what we do. If Chris Rock is still going to the club to try something new, who are you? Do you understand? Comedy, you are as good as your last show. Week. That's it. So when you're done recording the new show, I'm done with my Netflix thing. I'm working on an hour for Money and Men. I'm working on an hour for Money and Men. I need to make sure that this hour I want to sell it again to Netflix as an international product. Now I must go outside and perform. I can't thumbs up that.
How did your first Netflix gig happen?
They called me.
Or let me say, in your Netflix break.
Yeah, actually, funny. I was in 2019. Yeah, 2020 January. 2020 January. 2020 January. I had a Woolworths campaign. It gave me such a good money. I was like, oh, nice. I'm gonna be good for a couple of months. Because I knew. Yeah, I know.
You will get dry for like 8 months. That's why when it's a season where you are making money, you must make sure, you know what, this has to last me as long as, you know what I mean?
So, and then I got a call from Paul to say, hey, your movie Looking for Love is screening in Toronto. I was like, what? Toronto? My movie? Canada. Really? Me and Pindle were like, bro, we're leading this movie, like, let's go. And then they said, okay, we're going to sponsor you ticket, let's go. So I went, not Pindle, to Canada. Then from Canada, I was like, okay, I'm in Canada now, New York. I'm friends now with Sidra and Tasha Smith. Because I met them through Palance. So I did that. Yeah, Palance.
My favorite actor.
Actually, I must do something for him now.
Your boy Spirit.
So he had a podcast thing, and then he invited them, and then we got along from there. So I was like, okay, Canada, closer to New York, let me go to LA. So I went to LA, and when I was in New York, I got a call from Takunda to say, hey, because there was a launch for Pearl 2's thing in South Africa when I was in Toronto, and everyone from Netflix was here. So they were looking for me, I was not here. So then they got my number from Takunda called me and said, listen, Natalie wants to see you, blah, blah, blah. Oh, okay, cool. Got the call. Literally, I had a WhatsApp conversations with Netflix before it was official. I'm the one who had to tell my agent, like, listen, these people sort it out, because I was like, let me not mess this one up, let it have lawyers, let it be, what it needs to be. And I thought they were going to take my hour, and then they said we had the lineup. I was like, okay, cool. Because I already working on an hour, which I thought I was going to perform in 2020, and then COVID happened. Then I took that 15 minutes. Then they said, okay, we were supposed to shoot it in 2020. We eventually ended up shooting it in 2021, September. Killed it. We had 2 nights of shooting. 1 rehearsal, 2 nights of shooting. The last night I was on fire. I was like, this thing has to go. Because it felt, for me, I took it as an opportunity for auditioning overseas. Now when I go overseas, I don't have to worry about telling the club managers, the people, because I still want to do the work. I don't want to come there, I want to be able to book theaters. This is my plan, to be able to book theaters in different countries easily, like I do lyric, because I think comedy doesn't really rely on the media as much as it relies on people. When Monique was going through what was going through, still filling up the seats, so, as Monique. That's the lovely thing I love about comedy. Like there's so much that they and the media that can control. The rest is yours.
Wow. It's so
the narrative is mine, the jokes are mine, the audience is mine. We are not, there's no mixed signals here. People go to the computer tickets, whatever ticket, web ticket, whatever way, they get my ticket. They want to see Celeste. However, I curate the show on stage, that's me. That's on me. But my people are there. So to know that you have your people is a very strong thing.
Following.
It's not social media. Now that I know that next time when I do a show again at because I'm going back again at Leicester Square, I'm going to have a sold out show. Because now, imagine the show I had at Leicester Square for 400 seats that I had full capacity. I didn't sold out, but it was full. More than 300 something. People that were there, it was dope for me to understand that, okay, and I got the chance to do O2 Arena because Basket Matter the show as well.
You did O2 Arena in London?
Like my trip I stayed in London for a month because I did my show on the 6th of Feb with Tenjiwe and King Kandoro, who's a comedian from Zim, who's based in London, who said to me, listen, can I jump in? And we made him an MC. And another comedian, a female comic who's also from Ghana, Jacinta, who's big in Ghana, who also said I'm coming. She was going to do Basketball show, so she came to my show. So that's why I had that vast diasporic energy on my show. That's the most amazing thing. So now we're going to do it again because we know we have people, and I have people in New Jersey's and New York's and everywhere in America asking for the show. So now I'm like, okay, obviously we're dealing with dollars and pounds and euros. You must move in a certain way, but that's where I am. Comedy is really forced because there are people out there for you. I don't have to have a show in Hollywood to have those people coming to fill up the seats.
And then I started. I mean, it was geez, those days were great, guys. We had so much fun.
No, it was too nice.
We had so much fun. But I think what a lot of people don't. Well, let me say. What I think a lot of people don't know about you. I don't know if you do reveal that side on your shows, on your spirituality and just your, I don't want to call it wokeness, man, because it's just a word that's being thrown around a lot.
It's been overused.
But maybe let me ask it this way. What attracted you to the concept of, let's say, black consciousness or ahism?
When you look like me, you're going to feel it. It's not going to be something that you read. It's not going to be something that you watch on TV. It's going to be something that you experience. Colorism. Everything. I'm black. I'm too black for some of the establishments. You know what I mean? I'm too black for some of the things that people think like people who look like me can't. The media is still struggling to show black love, bruh. So you understand that we seriously, can I just...
Yeah, no, go right ahead. You can take it.
No, I need to close it.
Okay, no problem.
Messages.
Yeah.
So, I had not, my dad was such a Pan-Africanist. and obviously because he was dark skinned. I think we are yet to really address the issue of the hate on dark skin. It's so crazy. That's why I don't even join other movements, because this one is still struggling. It's crazy that people fail to accept you. You haven't done anything. This is just you. You know what I mean? Like, you still need to. I saw Liz was doing the big girl contest, because the whole thing of this space denying the existence of people who look like me is insane. So when you are younger, you have choices to make when you go through such. When you're constantly being told you are not good enough for this and the other, you have a way of saying, okay, do you accept what they say? Or do you allow it to make you depressed? Or do you use it for your own advantage and your own power? Luckily for me, I did the latter. Because what it does, it says, you are not with us, so you don't belong here. But if you're going to take it from that context, you're going to be hurt. But if you're going to take it from, definitely I don't belong from you because I'm outstanding, that's why I'm standing outside.
Yeah.
There's nothing that is nice. You see how Dave Chappelle is? Dave Chappelle is free. He's a free artist. Purely because
he said no to
you accepted that you don't want to be my friend. It's okay. But I think we got hung up as dark-skinned black people, whatever that you want to. Whenever you want to just be on black excellence team, I want more fire. We are a fight over we long thing. You understand? And some of them will put my podium. He'll have threats. I go over something shit. There's always this issue. You understand? But I think the power to take back from that is that to say, either way, whatever I do, it's never going to be enough for these people. And why do I even try to impress them in the first place? And how free it is that I can talk and say whatever that I like, because obviously they're not my friends. Do you understand how free I am? That's why people like to come and interview me. I don't have endorsements. I never had. So I don't protect anything. And now that I'm unemployed, what are you going to take? Even cancel culture has nothing on me. What are you going to cancel?
I like it on my.
What are you going to cancel?
I said I'm uncancelable. What y'all guys thinking?
I am uncancelable because
even Kanye West, I'm uncancelable. Yeah, I'm saying I'm mean.
Because you know what I mean. The canceling people sometimes are questionable as well. Because there are so many people that might need to be cancelled, but they protect them, mediocre as they are. But it's okay. It's who they are. But why am I even subscribing to whatever that you put out there? You know what I mean? For me, and which is why I want to do what I want to do. Because I need to be on that Dave Chappelle, Trevor Noah, because I deserve. I'm that. And I'm not going to wait for people to tell me. Because I'm never going to. They didn't tell Nina Simone. They didn't tell Winnie Mandela. They tried to not to tell Castor. Serena Williams, why am I counting? I know what I'm going to get. But all I know is that it's me, it's my God. But don't worry. There has to be a Zulu girl that has a show at the Madison Square Garden. And the world knows. And it's sold out. And it's going to be me. And it's going to be me.
I'm going to fly and come support.
Because I'm like, either way. So, if I fail, it's fine. Mina, that's what I want. I want to be able to have that whole lineup. Yeah, Celeste has a world tour, which is a real world tour. Scotland, because I can. And because what I have to say as well is beyond, it's not even about me traveling and then. It's about my voice and what I need to say reaching the people that it needs to reach. You do not understand the joy when I talk about racist issues to the club full of white people from England.
How difficult is that
experience? It's a most beautiful experience.
Beautiful?
Because yes, black people are the first one to feel sorry for white people's issues. Whenever you raise the Cubas or Tinabelum, get them asked. If we are inheriting traumas, they are definitely inheriting racism. But inheritance is the same. We can't be the only one inheriting things they don't inherit. How come? And that means they also need some work to do. When you tell black people all the time that we have inherited some traumas, we have to work through them. White people have to work through why they hate.
Wow.
And it's not our job, that one.
Because it's taught.
It's not our job.
No child is born hating another. Racism is taught.
Finish. It's not our job. But it's our job to highlight it because it's happening to us. If there's one thing I need to do in this world is to make sure I protect and I say what I need to say without me being looked in my skin and whatnot. And people can talk about everything else. Have you realized that people can talk about sex, talk about education? The minute you say racism to black people, like, hey, let's talk about inclusivity. No, even inclusivity is a shame. Because once they include other people, they forget about yours.
Literally, this has just been a consistent narrative over the past couple of weeks. The different interviews that we've had Mr. Andile Mkritama, we had Mkunzi, we've had Dr. Kulani. All of them are talking about the same thing. And it's not like they told each other or they want.
No, inclusivity killed us.
You know what I mean?
Because inclusivity.
Because abantu abamnyama silunge kakhulu. And sometimes I always think ukuthi mhlambe yingakho ilizwe lathathwa from gokhokho bethu. I kind of feel that besilunge kakhulu, which we still are till today. Silunge kakhulu in such a way that we did not fathom, we did not think ukuthi ukhona omunye umuntu ongafani nathi ongaze aze ngobubi kanje obokuthi azosithathela umhlaba. I think sometimes we're just so welcoming and you're just so nice.
Yeah, we are.
Sometimes you don't think what can to fucking your endling.
And which is why the spiritual work is important for us. Excuse me, because I read somewhere that black people, we are like the sun. Everyone charges with us. We're like a portable charger. That's why we sell energy. That's why we sell entertainment. That's why we are good for it. Everyone else, racist or not, they're still gonna have to get married with a Luther Vandross song.
The melanin.
You know what I mean?
Like
like
the magic potion.
Yeah, I think our fault is us not working on our spiritual space to work for us. Because I want to
I always say the same thing. I'm like, yes, guys.
You
know?
No, it's not to say that. And that's another thing. I think that's why this whole, I always say, I do not have a problem. Everyone else has their issues, but me, as a black person, dark-skinned woman, I'm in my life, I'm dedicating my life to fight the black fight. The people of color fight, it's for the people of color. Because what happens with the people of color situation? Once they put it together with the people of color, it's only the people of color that are winning. Black people are not.
Wow, it's so interesting. Somebody said the other day, I forgot who were interviewing, but they were talking about how our black people's fights ended up getting infiltrated, where the black woman's fight is now being also not really fought by the white woman.